Hello and welcome to my studio. I'm Jessie and this is the Knit Up and Dye podcast, episode 102, Rebalancing. As always, I'm going to start out with my thank yous and I have my cheat sheet. Special thank you goes out to all of my subscribers, new and ongoing. I love you guys. What you see here is really all about you. Every time I sit down to prepare this, I'm thinking about what you want to hear, what you want to see, and I love your feedback. Thank you. Hello goes out to Suzanne. Thank you for adding me to your day. Special love and thanks go out to Amy, Toonie, Glenda, Tara, Diane, Allison, Barbara, Faye, Julie, Janelle, Erica, Adriana, Wayne, Sonia, Patricia, Lisalette, Cappy, Kath, Jorge, Chris, Benty, Christy, Nietzsche, Charlotte, Roseanne, Linda, Marie, Eve, David, Donna, Betty Ann, Scott and John, Kate and Terry, and Janet, Bex, Monica, Carolyn, Nancy, and Rachel. Whew, it's a big list, and every one of you means so much to me. Much love goes out to my Zoom family, Robert, Juanita, Paula, Brian, Jen, Elizabeth, Katie, Shirley, Roz, and Jamie. Thank you so much. Katie, extra huge hugs. Thank you for exposing me that way. Wearing my design to Maryland Sheep and Wool. Mwah! Thank you. A warm hello and thank you goes out to all of my patrons. You honor me. You make this possible. So, jumping in. I missed last week. I just was out of sorts. As I had said in the previous episode, we did have a death in the family. And my husband was away for quite a while, helping resolve all the leftover things that have to be handled in that time. And that meant that I was here and the household kind of fell on me, and I spent a lot of time catching up my business, taking care of the house, the dogs, the chickens, the gardens, and really just going through my own mourning process. It's not easy. It's not easy. And of course, separation from my husband, and that's never fun. We're very bonded. So I hadn't done a lot of knitting, interestingly enough. I got some dyeing done and I was really prepping for my trunk show, but I didn't have anything really to talk to you guys about, and just couldn't pull myself together, honestly. So my apologies for my absence last week. I've got a little bit to show you this week, I promise. But sometimes I just don't have my game on, and I feel bad about that because this is important to me. I wanted to do this, but it wasn't happening. It just wasn't happening. And I'm sure you've all gone through that, where you have certain things that you want to do and you just can't get out of your own way. And that's exactly where I was. I showed you I was doing a little bit of hand spinning, and I've had my aha moment and realized that spinning right-handed versus left-handed was much better for me and my brain. I haven't really touched it. There hasn't been a lot of... I keep busy. I keep really busy, especially when I've got stuff that I need to process, and I didn't have a lot of sit down time. Like I said, I didn't do a lot of knitting, therefore I didn't do a lot of spinning either. I did a lot of running around. I did like preparation cooking, where I froze up a bunch of stuff, soups and meatloaves and cookies and ice creams, and I did a lot of dyeing, so I was really on my feet, moving around a lot, not giving myself time to sit and consume myself with my thoughts and my emotions. So I didn't do any hand spinning. However, this past week I've kicked back in and I'm starting to do all the things that I love again. So we have some stuff, some progress. I did get a little bit of work done on my watermelon socks. This is from my watermelon sock blank that I got from Gail's Art. I'll show you the blank. I love this. Isn't that fun? I just love her blanks. They're so beautiful. And I just thought this one was so fun and so summery that now was the time to really cast it on and get to work on a pair of socks. And I don't expect them to line up at all. I think I'm just going to let them land as they may. You know, I generally like to have matchy with my socks. This pair, I think I'm just going to let them happen. And however they land, they land. I am down onto the gusset. The colors are so beautiful. Sorry, I'm trying to block myself out so the camera focuses on the sock. I just love the colors. I love how it's all speckling up and it's just so pretty. This makes me happy. And now that my husband is home and we're back to our regular routine with commuting, I'll be knitting in the car again and getting a lot more done on this. I've been driving myself to work, so I haven't even had knitting in the car time. We're getting back to normal. We're rebalancing. We're getting there. So this is coming along, and I'm very happy with that. I was working on another project that I showed you guys that's a new design, and I don't have a name for it yet. I keep vacillating. I think I need to see it blocked and really listen to it and see what it says to me, because my overall impression of the stitches and the design is that it's a much heavier, warmer look to it, that it's very winter and ski and snowy and cabin and in the woods kind of a thing, whereas it's actually a lace shawl and has kind of some light, airy sort of feeling to it. So I'm trying to balance that and trying to find a name that really speaks to that. I finished it. This is on my Lilac Whisper colorway, which is just the palest lilac purple. And it is another 3/4 shawl design, like my farmhouse shawl and my barn dance shawl. It is using 2 skeins, and it has a knitted lace edge where you knit it on at the end. And I love it. I think it's so pretty. I'm very, very happy with this. I had a different vision when I started to knit it. This was supposed to really be a big sister to Porch Light. And it started that way, and I had a lace in mind for it, and my math was bad. I know, surprise, you guys are probably so you must be like, why do you try to do math? And yeah, keep trying, you'll learn from it. But I had designed a lace pattern, and the math didn't work out the way I wanted it to. And so I kind of just let it speak to me, and I let it get really organic and just flow. Whatever I felt should be next came next, and I let it just happen. And I'm really happy with it. It desperately needs to be blocked. As you can tell, it's kind of a rumpled, folded mess. But I'm really happy with how it came out, and I can't wait to get this blocked to show you guys. And of course, I'll be looking for test knitters. So if you are looking at this and thinking, hey, that's kind of cool, I think I'd like to give that a shot, reach out to me, let me know, send me an email with test knitter in the subject line so you stand out and you don't get lost in the piles. And as soon as we get to that point, I will reach back out to you and let you know, and we'll go from there. Of course, there'll be updates here as well when I get closer. It will likely be a good month before I'm ready for test knitting on this. I do need to block it. I do need to tack up that pattern before we'll be ready to look at testing. And I've got my trunk show, so that's going to delay everything because that's very important. I can't wait to go. So I will name this. It needs a name. It needs a name. So that's done. And this is kind of where I am, where I have my How to Eat an Elephant blanket that has received 0 attention. I have my watermelon socks, which I am going to be giving a lot more love to in the next week for certain. But I'm looking at what projects I want to knit for travel knitting. I have my trunk show coming up, and I'll be traveling for that. During my trunk show, we have a knit along, and I'm really excited about that because it's my brand new pattern. It's my Keiko pattern, which I don't have nearby to show you. Maybe I do. Maybe I do. Maybe I do. Hey, all right. It is my new design. It's my Keiko pattern, which is a color work hat. I'm very excited to launch this at Unwound during my trunk show. It's going to launch simultaneously with my DK minis, of which I have a whole collection, and we're going to have a cast-on party there. We're going to have a knit along while I'm there. I'm super excited about this. So this is going to be part of my travel knitting. However, I'm not going to be knitting that on the plane on the way to the trunk show, because I'd have it done before I get to our cast-on party, and that does not make any sense, nor is that any fun. So I'm thinking about projects that I want to do during my flight and projects upcoming. And I have some yarn that I showed you guys before that I had gotten from Supernatural Yarns from Shannon over there. It's a lovely DK. It's really beautiful. And I want to knit a sweater out of it. I had a sweater in mind, and for the life of me, I can't find the pattern. I didn't put it in my queue on Ravelry. I thought I favorited it. I'm not seeing it in my I don't know what I've done with it. But it was a top-down, seamless, in the round, boxy type sweater that was knit with 2 fingering weights held together. That much I'm pretty sure I remember. It's been, I don't think I've thought of this project in the better part of 2 months now. I want to find that pattern again, or something really, really similar. The 2 fingering held together, of course, equals about a DK, and I'm pretty sure I could get gauge and be happy with it. It's just a matter of finding a pattern that's like that will work. I think I get to spend my afternoon digging through Ravelry. Oh, darn. That'll be miserable, I'm sure. Love doing that. There's 6 hours gone. So I have this idea that I want to knit this sweater. And I really probably ought to just dig in the project bag that I put the yarn in, because knowing me, the pattern's printed and it's in there, and I don't know why. I don't remember these things. But I'm also thinking about a shawl. My friend Jamie from Zoom, I gifted him a skein of yarn, and I sent him Copper River. I love that colorway. I love that colorway. He mentioned it offhand, and I sent it to him, and he found this pattern on Ravelry. It is the Stormy Sky shawl. I'll try and say that again without a horrible lisp. Stormy Sky shawl by Life is Cozy. It is available through Ravelry. It is a free pattern, and it's really beautiful. And he knit this shawl up using my Copper River yarn, and it was so beautiful. It was just the perfect pairing of a hand-dyed yarn and a shawl. It has a lot of drop stitches, a lot of open work, negative work in it, and it just made the yarn sing. I look at his shawl and I think, my God, that is the perfect pairing. I love it. I want it. So I really love it. I think I'm going to do that. But the Copper River colorway, as much as I love it, is not the most flattering on me. If I'm going to wear a shawl, I'm going to be wrapping it up around my neck, and I want it to really be colors that are obviously make me look good, not just, shouldn't be looking at the person wearing the shawl going, that's a lovely piece of knitting, why is it on a dead woman? It should flatter you, it should be beautiful on you. And I've been messing with some new colorways. Like I said, I've been doing a lot of dyeing, and I've come up with a couple of new colorways, which I'll show you in a minute. But one of them is so much more flattering on me, and it is very reminiscent of Copper River. I think this is my project. I think I'm going to cast this shawl on in this. The yarn colorway is called Gypsy. This is one of my newest colorways. I am so in love with this color. It is speckly. It is deep rusty oranges down into a red, and it is teal. It has little bits where the orange and the teal intersect with each other, and it becomes a really deep plum. And then there's other places where the orange became very light and gold, and the speckling overlaid, and it's all coppery and beautiful. I love this. I'm so in love with this colorway. This is one of those that I had brewing in the back of my mind for months, where I wanted to do something complementary to Copper River, and they would be lovely together. And I just wasn't sure how to get the colors to work out the way I wanted them to. And over this past week, I played with this, and this is what I came up with. I am so happy I did. I just love this, and I think this will be really, really beautiful in that shawl. So it's so tempting to cast this one. But I know if I cast this on now with the idea that this is going to be my travel knitting, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to knit the whole thing, and I'm going to be looking for another project for my travel knitting, and I really wanted this for the airplane. So I have to set it aside. I'm not even going to cake it up yet. I'm just going to set it aside and put my focus into trying to figure out the sweater pattern and get that swatched and sort that project out and get that project moving. And then maybe I'll actually have 2 projects I can take with me. Because sometimes when you're traveling, when you're on a plane and you're going to spend 4 hours sitting in one seat like this, you want to switch it up a little bit. And just having one project with you, if you run into a problem or you find out that you didn't have the right tool with you, or it's really repetitive, it can become monotonous, and sometimes you need to trade out your project and break it up a little bit. When I have long traveling trips, I like to take a couple different things with me just so I have variety and I don't feel... Sometimes I get this, confessions. Sometimes I get a little bit bored. If you've got a big chunk of stockinette, you want to break it up a little bit. If you have the same repetition over and over and over again, sometimes you just feel kind of like you're in a rut and you want to do something different for a little bit. That's all I'm saying. I'm not calling anybody's patterns boring. I'm saying me as a knitter, I need variety. I love playing in that playground, of trying different stitches, of taxing my memory, of having the opportunity to remember different pattern sequences, to watch it develop. And that's going to be a problem with this shawl, is it is so beautiful. Watching the color develop as this grows and as the stitches drop. It does drop stitches with yarn over. It's so beautiful. Go and check out Stormy Sky Shawl by Life is Cozy. It's really beautiful, and it really lends itself to hand painted yarns. I know I'm going to get addicted to that thing, and I'm going to blow right through it. It's only one skein of yarn, and then I'm not going to have anything to knit on my return trip. Plan. Do you do that though? Where, okay, I know I'm going to be away from home for X number of days. I need a project for every single day. I don't overpack clothes, I overpack yarn. I always take too many projects with me. But the one time that I went with too few projects, I regretted it, and it itched and it bugged me the entire trip. So you can never have too many. I really don't think you can have too many projects. Maybe like if you didn't pack any clothing at all, or you found that because you packed so many projects, you failed to bring really critical things and you ended up having to buy them. Maybe that's too many projects, but if you're entertained and you're happy and you look at them and there's love and there's that energy of potential in the room, good enough, good enough. That's the way it should be. I said that I was I said that I was dyeing other new colorways. I have one other colorway that I really want to show you because I just think it is so beautiful. This colorway was actually inspired by my friend Jamie. In talking to him and getting to know him and asking him what colors he's interested in, I came up with Happy Family. Again, I am in love with this color. I'm so glad that I had the opportunity to really play with color recently. This is just the softest lemon yellow. It's sunny, and it really is, it's a tonal, but it has a broad variety where it goes from almost a gold, a lemon rind, to the inner light shades of lemon and pith. I'm so happy with this. It's sunny and it's warm. I'm calling this Happy Family. It makes me smile. It's like pale daffodils and sunlight, and it just brings me, it's a joyful color. It's a happy, joyful color. And it kind of works with Gypsy. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I have a lot of other colorways that are developing. I've got some down on paper that I'm doing the math on to figure out formulas to develop the colors to make them come out the way I want to. I've got other ideas where I'm writing down tones and what I'm thinking about. And a lot of the new colorways, a lot of the dyeing is coming out of changes to my Patreon program. I had talked to you guys about how there was a terms of use kind of issue where we had been doing drawings and that was not going to work any longer. And that was fine. We sorted it out. We have a new credit system where you can earn skeins of yarn. Every month you get credits and you can either trade them in for coupons or you can trade them for yarn. The trade system is really simple. Every month, as soon as your patronage has been processed, I send you an email that tells you how many credits you've got and what your options are. If you want to trade for a coupon, if you want to trade for yarn, all you have to do is message me and we sort that out, where you say, hey, I want X number of skeins of Happy Family. I go, great, your new credit balance is this, and it's shipping out to you at this address. And I'm excited about it because what was happening was I was so focused on dyeing for my regular orders, and I was so focused on dyeing special colorways every month for the patronage that I wasn't doing any creative dyeing. And now that I have opened up the patronage so you can choose whatever you want out of my store, or custom orders, you have that option as well. I'm free to really experiment and really grow my shop and really grow my colorway base. And I'm very, very excited about it. I've got a whole bunch of yarn that I need to photograph and upload to my shop. So you're going to start seeing a lot more listings and a lot more colorways and a lot more options. That's where my groove is. That's where I'm happiest. And this was really just kind of, I don't want to call it a happy accident, but it really sort of was that I had to make this change, and it has been so positive in the end. And I hope that it's working out positive for all my patrons. Please, your feedback is important to me. If you're not liking this, if you have other suggestions, if you have other comments, if you have concerns, message me. I'm here for you, and we're going to work it out. This is nothing that can't be reknit. We can make edits and corrections. So that's what's going on with me. Oh, Porch Light is live. It is up on Ravelry. The Porch Light shawl design is there and available for purchase. I'm very excited. That did launch. And like I said, it's going to be probably a month before I'm ready to test knit that other new design. Sorry, I'm bouncing all around on my sheet here today because obviously I'm very excited to be back and I've missed you guys. And I feel good that I feel back in my groove and I'm ready to talk about this again, and I'm getting stuff done again, and I have something to offer again. And this started out as a really rough year, and I feel like maybe all that rough has finally passed and all the rest of this is looking up. The trunk show. We're so close. We're so close. So here we are. We're at the May 5th. And the trunk show begins May 23rd. So we're a couple of weeks away. Yes! Thursday, May 23rd, we have our cast on party for the knit along. And that's the Keiko pattern that I showed you. Show up, get your minis, cast on with me, and let's make magic happen. Friday, I have a class, and that class is on pairing hand-dyed yarns and patterns. Just like what I was talking about with Jamie's choice of Copper River and the Stormy Sky shawl, I'm going to show you why that works so beautifully, how to make those connections, how to find the right yarn for that pattern that you're in love with, or find the right pattern for that yarn that you're in love with, so that both sing, both glow, both make a greater whole when they're combined. We're going to talk about all kinds of different things, reading your yarn, understanding how it was dyed, and how that dye method influences the fabric that it creates when you knit it. We're going to have all kinds of fun. We're going to go over all kinds of stuff. Please sign up for the Friday class. Again, that's May 24th at Unwound in La Crosse, Wisconsin. Saturday, I'm in the shop all day. Come visit me, come poke at me, come ask me questions, or just come hang out. We're going to be knitting, we're going to be talking, we're going to just have a good time all day long. Sunday, May 26th, Sunday is our brunch, Sunday morning. I love the brunch. I love the brunch so much. We go off site, we go to a different location, and we sit down and we have a meal. There is no better way to bond with people than over food. That is one of my first loves. I went to culinary school. I love the history behind food, and I love the connection that you make when you're sitting across the table from somebody, sharing good food and enjoying time together. I struggle when I go to restaurants and I see people that are all tied into their cell phones. Put it down. You're there with somebody. Focus on the people you're there with. It's love. It's time spent together. Don't throw that away. That aside, so the brunch is great fun because I get to hang out with all of you guys over good food, good coffee, and I bring swag bags. I love giving gifts. I love giving gifts, and I work very hard every year for the trunk show to develop really fun swag, something that is memorable, something that is valuable, something that is enjoyable. And this year my swag is extra special. My husband teamed up with me and he helped create the coolest swag ever. And I'm going to give you a sneak peek as to one of the items in the swag bag because I'm so proud of it. I love it so much and I think you're really going to dig on it. Johnny worked with me this year to create these. And I'm going to try to, let's see if I can get it in front of my shirt so that you can see it. Can you see that? Let's see if I can get the camera to focus by blocking me out. They're monkeys. It's a monkey on a glass. I'm so excited about it. They are so adorable. I'm so proud of them. I hope the camera is picking this up so that you can see that. One of these is going to be in every one of my swag bags. Every one of you gets to take home your own very monkey glass. John, thank you. These are so cool and I hope everybody loves them. And of course there'll be minis and other fun things. And then of course, afterwards you come back to the shop with me and we have a Q&A. Pick my brain about pattern design, stitches, yarn pairings, dyeing processes, podcasts, you name it. Whatever I do, you're welcome to ask me questions about and learn from me. That's why I'm there. That is really everything that I'm excited about at this moment that I wanted to share with you. And yeah, I'm going to go take some photos of yarn and get those yarns listed in my shop for you. And I hope to see you all next week. Have a great one. I hope you're finding balance in your days. Bye.